Hello fiber friends! It is day 21. We are down to the very last stretch of Vlogmas. And I have to say that I have been having so much fun with all of these spins. It's really a joy every day to pull out a new fiber, come up with an idea, and then this thing exists. This yarn exists because I showed up and spun it. I just think that's the coolest thing. It never gets old for me. So I hope that you are having as much fun spinning as I am, whether you are following along with the advent calendar or whether you're spinning from your own stash. I just really hope that you're having a great time spinning. This is also that time when people start sending me very kind messages saying, "Are you okay?" Because this is so much work. It is a lot of work. But yes, I do work very efficiently so that I'm able to get everything done, and I do spend time with my family, and that, you know, isn't compromised because of Vlogmas. So rest assured, we have a good balance here. As Mark would say, a good work-life balance ply. That still cracks me up. Yeah, so what did we do? Last night we made gingerbread houses. And that's always a lot of fun because my kids come up with just like their gingerbread houses have an entire origin and backstory about all of the different things, the different elements going on with their gingerbread houses. And they got in an argument actually because my youngest was like, he was like, "This is the only thing that I build that's wholesome, and I want it to be wholesome." Because he likes to make all kinds of battle type things with Connects and Legos and all that. So it was just, we had a good time. It was a lot of fun. And keep watching because I do have a couple other spins that I finished up over the weekend that I forgot to show you yesterday. So I would love for you to see those. I'll have those. Let's open the fiber first though. Let's do it in that order. All right, what do we have today? Day 21. What are we spinning today? Okay, the blessing. May all your yarn find its balance. This one's tricky sometimes. What else? Ooh, a mint. And what is our fiber? Oh, yes. Okay, I am excited for this one. This is Blueface Leicester, and it has some natural colors in it, and then it has some dyed colors in it, and I like it a lot. I think it's so pretty. So how are we going to spin this one today? Okay, I just thought of what to do. I am going to spin this with my Canadian production wheel that I affectionately call Philippe. after the horse in Beauty and the Beast. And I have to show you something I got because I don't think I've shown it on my channel yet. It's a tiny replica Canadian production wheel little thing. And it's the cutest. So let me show you that, and then we're gonna get Philippe out here and we are going to spin with the CPW. Brace yourselves for overwhelming cuteness. What is this? It is amazing. Look at all the details. It has a double drive on there. The flyer turns, the whole thing turns, look. The whole thing turns. Even the footman goes up and down. Look. Isn't this the most amazing little thing? And underneath, there we go. So there's this little tag on the bottom. I believe it says made in Quebec for a Nadeau. Is that a name? I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. I need to get a little research done on that. But isn't this just the coolest thing? I think it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it's so tiny. It's adorable. So it lives on my mantle now with all my other wonderful spinning things. There it is. Just the cutest. I am finding more and more that I really like my fiber to be extremely fluffed up before I spin it. And even though prepped roving is supposed to be something you can just spin directly from, I really am finding that I prefer to have it fluffed up on the carder before I get spinning. So now that I'm here and all fluffed up, I think I'm going to do a long draw basically from a bat, which is what I have here. So people have been asking about more details on how to do a long draw. So let's talk about long draw. What we're doing is drafting the fiber where there is twist between our front hand and the hand that's holding the fiber. And the distance between the two is longer, long draw, right? It's longer than the length of the staple in the fiber. The length of the staple is the average length of the individual fibers. So what I'm doing for this is, with my front hand, I'm controlling how much twist is in the drafting area. If I have too much twist in there, then I cannot draft back my fibers. I can't pull them apart because they get stuck because the twist holds them all together. So if I let just enough twist, then that twist will capture a few of those fibers and pull them out of the supply of fibers. And so I can kind of roll my finger and thumb back and forth to control, keep it right on the edge there of having enough but not too much twist. The question about what to do when you only have one bobbin on your wheel and how to ply and do a 2-ply, it comes up a lot. There's a lot of solutions, but the solution I've been interested in lately is to create a plying ball. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am tightly winding both of my singles together into a ball that I will be able to ply the yarn from. Oh look, they're coming out pretty even. I just love it when this happens. Here, here I'll zoom in so you can see. Here's the leader on this one, and here's the end of this one. So we've got that much distance between the end of one and the leader. So cool. I love it when that happens. Oh, it's so much fun. Now, Philippe doesn't actually like to go in a counterclockwise direction, S-twist. And I need to ply this with S-twist, so I will use my e-spinner to do it. It's just easier, and it's the equipment I have. And so I guess my big tip for anyone following along on that is don't be afraid to use the equipment that is easiest for what you're trying to do. If it's easier to ply on something else, then don't force yourself to ply on something that's difficult to just because you spun it on that. I frequently will mix and match. Sometimes I'll spin on a wheel and ply on a spindle because I feel like it, or because I want to. And sometimes I'll spin on one wheel and ply on a different wheel, mix and match with the e-spinner. As long as I'm getting the yarn that I want in the end, it's all fine. It's all okay. It's all good. So let's get this plied. I guess the thing about a plying ball is that you really do have to make sure that when you wind it on, you're winding them under tension together to combat all the curlicues, because if you get pigtails in it as you ply, they're gonna stay there. So this definitely does take a little practice, but I've done this a couple times now and we're doing okay. Another Vlogmas spin is complete. And I finished another spin that wasn't Vlogmas because I just spin all the time. It's what I do. So I'm going to show you that in just a moment. But this ply came out really, really nice. I like this two-toned marled yarn. If you are working on being more consistent with your plying, I really recommend plying a marled yarn like this one, where you have one strand of one color and one strand of a different color, because when you look at the ply overall, you can really see if everything has a similar twist angle, if it's all kind of lining up across the yarn, or if you've got spots that are tighter with more twist. It just makes it very visually able to kind of troubleshoot and evaluate your yarn. So I think that is pretty cool. So here it is. And as I was saying, when you have a very consistent ply and spin, it's almost like you can draw a line across all of the yarn because the angle of it is consistent all the way across. So that is pretty cool. And if you're practicing consistency, this is something to look at, to check out. All right, let me show you the other ply, the other whole spin that I did. I ordered some authentic Peruvian spindles from Abby's Yarns, and I got some of these smaller pushkas, and this is what I spun this yarn with. And then I got a larger Conti for plying, and this is the yarn that I spun. There it is. Now I'm evaluating my yarn by looking at the angle to see if it's consistent all the way across, and it's fairly consistent, but I think I have some practice. The gauge of the yarn is nice. It came out fairly fine, so that's good. And my plan is to use this in a weaving project, and it will probably be one of the first videos that I'll be putting up in 2022, and I will be using the Vlogmas blessings as cards for a tablet weave, because the back of those blessings, or the front, whichever you call the front, you can punch out the holes and then you can tablet weave with the cards. And I've had a great question. There is kind of a velvet finish on these cards, and it feels kind of interesting. But I did test some of them. When you have the threads going through the holes, they turn a lot easier, so I don't think that's going to hinder it at all. But we'll see. I'll be doing a video and we will find out for sure. Alright friends, remember, if you are enjoying my content and you would like to support me by leaving a tip, I do have a Ko-fi. The link for that is in the description below. I also have a Patreon where you can be a regular supporter and get bonus content besides. If you are doing the spinning with me or spinning from your own stash, I would love to see the spins that you are coming up with. I would love to see what you're working on. You can share that with me, either tagging me directly, Jillian Eve FA, if you are on Instagram, or use the hashtag Jillian Eve Vlogmas 2021. And don't be afraid to use that hashtag well into the future, even if it's January by the time you get to some of these spins. If you're watching this sometime in the future, go ahead and tag that. It's all coming out of this project, so we can use that tag, and I would love to see what you're spinning no matter when you're spinning it. Alright friends, I wish you Merry Vlogmas, happy spinning, and I will see you tomorrow for day 22.